Everybody. Yeah, really quickly, my name is Alex CARLIN, and I'm from USA, but I'm spending a lot of time in Africa because it's the most, best, important, incredible place, especially for solving the climate problem. We're going to go from a situation of farms cannot make food, there are no fish, it's too hot. We're going to go from there to a fantastic climate where everything is actually healthy and we're going to have a good life. And why? Because Africa has the solutions, and that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit later, how Africa will solve the problems. Okay, I did not mention that I'm a climate journalist for Center for Media and Democracy, and that's just, if you can read my articles about this, and what we've determined, and that what's driving this campaign are really two things. One is the song. We have a song that's like, we are the world, we are the children, except it's Africa will be the leader of the climate solutions, and that's the truth. Africa is a perfect place, perfect situation right now to solve the problems, and our campaign is putting those solutions out there in the media, with the journalists, with the people listening to our music and our videos, and the governments listening to what's going on in their nations. And already, the African Union is already serious about these solutions, which have to do with the ocean. It has to do with natural photosynthesis from the plankton in the ocean, takes the CO2 out of the atmosphere, which is the key point for having a solution. You can't solve this thing without taking CO2 out of the atmosphere. It's impossible. But the good news, it's very possible right here in Africa. And so this campaign, with the music and the energy and people talking and these kind of conferences, is getting that awareness, getting the fact that Africa can take the situation by themselves. There's no reason to wait for USA or Europe or China or India, because they're way too slow anyway. They're not doing anything. They're not solving anything. It's happening right here. Africa is where it's going to happen, and it's exciting. So the music is all contributing to that, playing with Lipstick Queen and King Sabata. This is perfect way to start the movement and the campaign for Africa to be the leader.
Thank you so much. CARLIN, the very great question that I need to ask is what? How we can change the narrative? Africa is victim to Africa will be the leader.
That's a great question. First, I really agree with what Sita said and what King Sabata said. I really support what they say, 100%. But yeah, Africa, you could say 500 years or more, has been treated by USA and Europe and these countries as kind of like a victim in this kind of a thing. And you're absolutely right. The point is that's completely not the case right now. Victim is the history, but today it's leader. And we don't even really have to get to this reality of leader. We're already there. I can tell you right now that USA and Europe, China, India, they're doing nothing, so they're not leading anything. Africa is already doing the solutions I want to talk about, so they're already the leader, and we're just pushing it more and more and more. We don't have to go, nothing to do there, it's done. So now if you want to hear about specific, how do we solve certain things, I can talk about that, but Africa's already the leader. I do want to say what the specific solution that I like to talk about, because it's the most fast, small money, very safe, eco-friendly. It just does it so fast, because we need to do this really fast. We can't wait 50 years. And what I'm talking about is natural. It's what happens in the ocean with plankton and photosynthesis. Within 1 year, 2 years, you're taking so much CO2 out of the atmosphere, making a big difference in the heating of the planet. And it's also doing this thing about the fish. It's the food for the baby fish. It's the source of all life in ocean, which creates huge amounts of fish coming back to Africa. Now it's 90% down. You get all this fish back, and very important, at the same time, it takes the fact that we have acid now acid is killing the fish. It's killing our oceans. And the only thing with the power to take that acid away is plankton. Plankton power takes the CO2 out of the air, and it takes the acid away from being acid, those molecules, and it becomes a healthy ocean. This happens very quickly, and it's very easy and fast for Africans, and they're already talking about this very seriously, as I say, the African Union, many governments. It's very established process where you go in a boat and you give the nutrition back to the plankton, because right now the plankton is not getting their nutrition. They're not getting their food, they're not getting their energy. And that's because humans have taken away their source, which is dust. Like a farm on land needs water, but plankton needs dust for their energy and their nutrition. That's just a fact. And humans have taken that away by CO2 in the air, making the dry land masses, like in the Sahara, they actually are getting a little greener, and that means there's less dust blowing in the wind into the ocean. And that's just a fact, and we need to go out on boats and put tiny amounts of this nutritional dust back in these, what we call the eddies. This is the ecosystems of plankton and underwater life. That quickly brings that plankton back, and that's what has the power of plankton. If we're nice to the plankton, they're nice to us, and they take that CO2 out very fast in huge numbers, take the acid down, the fish come back, and within a short amount of time, we have a good climate again. It's that powerful. And the African Union and African nations, I've been talking to a lot of these governments personally, and the fact is they know that, and Africa is leading on that solution. But I just have to say that that's just my favorite. The thing about the African Climate Ban campaign is that we go city to city, country to country, and we sit and we listen to the local people, the indigenous people, the people who come to our events. And we listen and we say, okay, we talked about our ideas, now we want to listen to your ideas. What are the indigenous people of Africa saying is going to be the correct and the best solution? So we're not saying we know everything, but we're saying try this, because it's great, and we're also ready to listen to all of your ideas. So that's the beauty of our campaign. Africa will be the leader. Africa will be the leader. Africa will be the leader in the climate solution today. Actually, Africa already the leader. Africa right now is the leader. Ghana is the leader in the climate solution today. Yeah, there's a climate solution today, and Africa's leading the way. Climate, ocean pasture restoration, ocean restoration, plankton restoration today. I think you're asking how far have we progressed with these specific solutions in Africa, and there's a lot of progress. Let me mention, I spoke about the African Union a few times. I want to give you an example. The African Union is so involved with this kind of really good solution idea that they organized press conferences and events. They've already been organizing these symposiums and things to get moving on this. And you know, there was one in Madagascar. They're talking about a lot of different things. It's in there, in the pipeline. It's moving. It's not just talk. You know, this is action, and it's exciting. So I can tell you that I'm hearing things from my colleagues that there's a lot of serious discussions in a lot of governments where they're not only getting ready because they don't see any other solution and well, let's give this a try because it sounds good. They're also, you know, if we as a climate campaign show that the people are pushing this with a force of the people, that makes everything faster. That makes all of these things happen more strongly and faster. So the answer to your question is it's moving, it's going. You're going to start hearing a lot about this very soon, especially in Dubai. You're going to hear things at COP28 that we're going to be at and about how we're going step by step here. It's moving. And we've only been starting this campaign 5 days ago in Abidjan. This is the second event. And you should, what's really great though is that what this is all going to create about a month from now is the video that's like, if you remember, we are the world, we are the children. That was this great song that everybody remembers that had stars singing cameo lines, one line. So we're gonna have, you know, stars of Africa, each singing one line. That you're gonna start hearing that, you know, early next year. That's gonna start going all over Africa and all over the world. That's reaching our target audience. That's how music creates the actual connection with so many people. Imagine if we did not do that and we only did, you know, a couple of press conferences and a couple concerts. How many people can we reach, you know? We can reach some, and we have in Abidjan with journalism and your journalism in Ghana. We're gonna reach a lot of people. But if you talk about a worldwide hit popular video with stars, that reaches millions of people, right? And so that's our target audience. Put it that way. And we're gonna say that, and the message is gonna be, hey, USA, hey, Europe, hey, China, guess what? You didn't solve the problem. You had 50 years. Guess who is solving the problem? Africa. And that's gonna be reaching the audience right there. We were in Abidjan, in Cote d'Ivoire, where last April, I was lucky enough to just be on the stage with Les Wise Men, a band, the best reggae band I've ever seen. And they put me on the stage, and I just was singing, Africa will be the leader. And they played it as if they've heard it a million times. And I realized, you guys are the best band. So let's make the Africa Climate Band so we got 4 guys from Les Wise Men to agree to start this campaign. And we played one country 5 days ago, Cote d'Ivoire. This is the second country, Ghana. Fantastic. In 2 days, we'll be in Togo, Lomé, with Bege Star and all kinds of... And then we're going to Benin, which is kind of our home base, Cotonou. And then it's time to go to Dubai. We're going to go to the COP28. And from there, we have contacts in so many countries in Africa. We're going to be in South Africa. We're going to be in Kenya for sure. We're going to be in Senegal for sure. We're going to be in Ethiopia. There's no question. We're going to keep going until we solve all the problems, right? We're not going to stop.